show you this on television. Why not? Because they're scared. Welcome to the March of Freedom.
One life. This is what we have been given. All things in nature are born with total harmony and freedom, with the exception of ourselves, of course, whereas we're the only species on the planet whose freedom and harmony has been taken from us at birth. Our views and perceptions of the world are merely what is presented to us on a psychological level, a fictional reality designed to confuse the mind and separate us from nature itself and our true purpose in life. We have become but numbers, part of a system we are unknowingly and unwittingly signed into from birth before our minds are even taught a spoken language. And yet many do not question these suspicious systems we adhere to and interact with on a daily basis, for if the whole world knew of the secrets of society, then they would be liberated with the power of this knowledge and enlightenment. These truths alone would set us free, removing the shackles of centuries past and potentially the future to come. There comes a time when even a hamster will stop running on the wheel, and due to the psychological impact of our early childhood programming, many people will never stop chasing their tails on the wheel of fortune, seeking to make as much money as possible to keep themselves alive. Many shall never succeed, as their entire lives will be spent living paycheck to paycheck, breaking even to pay for the basic necessities of survival. These necessities cost nothing to all other life forms on the planet, but to the human race, they cost us our lives. We go about our days working for the very corporations and organizations that are destroying our planet, smiling and laughing in a vicious cycle commonly known as making a living. If we are truly making a living, then what is a living? Do we not have a right on this earth to be born as all things in nature, and just living rather than having to earn our right to life on this planet? And so I ask you, are you truly living? We live in a governmental society where govern means to control and mental means your mind. And even with the words that we speak, it would seem that many people have never been taught their true meanings and origins. Many truths are kept from us, and with all of the divisions and inequality, corruption and suffering happening in all corners of the earth, I felt as though I had to do something to try and make a difference. I had made several documentary films and started an activist networking and resource group called the World Public Union. However, I felt as though I needed to get out in the real world and try and document public opinions on these matters, as well as to spread awareness and truth to others. It was a march of freedom, and I had put my life on hold to accomplish this mission of philanthropy, bringing nothing but a few supplies, my laptop, and an iPhone to document the journey. I was only gone for a week, and I had made it 130 kilometers from Sudbury to North Bay, and I had already been met with considerable resistance. Not only was I dealing with injuries on my feet and open wounds and a sprained ankle, but also my Facebook was intentionally removed. And before leaving on the March of Freedom, my computer was also going through anomalies with the video program so that I wouldn't be able to announce the March of Freedom publicly. And when I got to North Bay, my Facebook was removed, essentially disrupting my communication with my family and friends, as well as causing me not to be able to update the March of Freedom page on Facebook. I needed to keep people up to date, and that was the only tool and resource that I had to contact anybody my family and friends to let them know what I was doing. I sent out an SOS to some alternative journalists that I knew and some people that ran websites to try to get the word out about the situation. And one person got back to me that day in North Bay, Calvin Dewitt, who is part of the No State project, and he also is involved with markstevens.net. Essentially, he knew a bit about being hacked and computer security and stuff like that, so I really wanted to get in touch with Calvin to get his input on the situation, to see if he could help me out to try to protect my computer and potentially get my Facebook account back.
I was all packed and ready to leave. The internet got shut down, the video didn't upload. That's when I started to begin to see that they're trying to shut me down for this. Even the night before, the video program that I used to make all documentaries that I made, Windows Movie Maker, all of a sudden stopped working with that video that I made, the March of Freedom. And
That's interesting. You might be suffering from a local attack, is what it sounds like. I mean, if your internet's down, but also other programs are malfunctioning, that's what happens for adversaries against the status quo, the state, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm sure by many organizations, especially ones with a lot of influence, power, and resources, you are an adversary. And they do just these types of attacks to what they call it disrupting communications. Whatever information you're trying to relay or you're trying to have in real time, they have tools to disrupt that to make it harder to get the word out. So they don't necessarily come double tap you anymore. They just they disrupt your comms, and it's up to you to try to circumvent that.
That Facebook getting shut down was that was pure blatant them pinpointing me and shutting me down, because I have a video of it all. I took a video of the messages that I was getting. It said that I was hacked, and for my own security, my profile had to be removed. So I tried to get through a security process and do the security checks for that, and they're all set up so that if I do submit an answer, it's the wrong answer, and it would shut my profile down. They're asking me a security question that I never submitted. And then I've been trying to tag people's faces, like it says choose 5 photos to pick who these people are. They're showing me cartoon pictures. They're not even real people's faces that I would know. It's a strange cartoon, actually, if you look at it. The cartoon character almost looks a little bit like me. It's very weird.
You said you got screen captures of this. Did you post it online?
No, not yet. It's I just put it on the computer there from my mobile phone. I've been documenting everything with my iPhone camera, and I also have the webcam on my laptop, so I use both of those for documenting things.
What you can do with that is if you upload that on YouTube, you can post that on different forums and ask people to look at what's going on there and see if they can clue you into what's happening, because there may be some people out there within the general public that know about state-sponsored attacks versus just regular hacking, good hacking, and maybe the source of the attack. And so that's why I want to get you hooked up with some privacy encryption software for your email, because come to find out that's actually working for people now. The downside to it is, just like you're experiencing with your video editing programs, there are also attacks that you could do locally on someone's computer to circumvent the encryption to effectively get the message, but you make them work for it, and it becomes more obvious, and so therefore it brings a little bit more transparency or light to what's actually going on in this era of cyber warfare, information warfare.
They could try to stop me from connecting with others on the internet, but one thing they would have a much more difficult time in stopping me with was connecting with people in person, face to face and in the flesh.
So here in North Bay, and a guy I know from Sudbury Occupy, Dan Hickey's here.
How's it going?
And his buddy.
Nick Turgeon.
Yeah.
What's Ferris?
They came to say hello and see how things were going and stuff like that. It's cool that you guys came by. And they want you to go to school, spend
go to university, and
yeah.
It's not. I don't even know if you're supposed to learn things. I think you're just supposed to put yourself in debt.
You're supposed to get yourself a piece of paper that says you're successful in whatever you took.
Well, it's like you and Buddy was discussing on Skype earlier, that they don't even teach you law in school. It's not even anything you can choose in a public school in high school.
Or taxes, nothing like that.
They don't teach you the most basic thing that controls your life ever.
I did a project in my it was individuals and families in a diverse society, and I did my final project on retirement. And basically, I focused on how I thought that should be taught in schools, because everybody has to retire, but people like my parents have no savings because they never there's always things you need to spend money on, and it's so hard to save money.
Oh yeah,
They
I
never
met a guy-
teach you anything about retirement.
Yeah. I met a guy on the way here actually. He gave me $5 and he said, "This is all I can give you because I'm like $400 a month pension." Holy fuck. I was like, holy, how is a guy supposed to survive off $400 after he's worked his whole life? Even if he didn't work and he had jobs here and there for whatever personal reasons, you still got a pension and you got to live off that. It's rough times.
And it's funny that that guy gives you $5, which is probably like all the money he has for that day. Anyone who's doing things like you, and activists, they don't support that. They don't give any money into things like that. But there's people that are broke and they're still donating to causes.
And people donate to cancer societies, and even though there's cures out there.
Exactly.
It's insane. Insane world.
People don't like to hear it, but it's
You should,
pretty obvious that.
You should do a freestyle about that.
Well, I don't know about freestyle. I got some writtens though.
Oh yeah.
Well, you want me to drop some right now? Yo, I'm illustration. I'm sicker than the pharmaceutical pill patients that fill nations. I'm only 17, but I'm ill, player. And if you still a hater, I'll make it rain blood with Slayer. Yeah, because we all victims of the system, and I'm dead inside. But my soul's oppressed like Osiris Tread designs. And I watch as they stand with pride, cross their chests before touching their hand to eye. It's like a bunch of random guys paying homage to an imaginary man in the sky. You get popped for some fine kush. Why aren't troops down in Texas trying to find Bush? Cause he's detrimental, doing white lines as long as his blueprints for the intercontinental pipelines. Millions of civilians subjected to awful trauma, worse than the bombers that led them to stop Osama. They stole an election and passed it to Obama. They lure young men to the army to die like Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not robbing an umbrella, but I'm taking a stand against the corporate dick that's raping our land.
Nice. That was awesome. A lot of good things in there. Pretty angry stuff.
Dan and his family donated $25 to help me with some food and supplies for the road. I was hoping to leave North Bay the next day, and since I was able to walk better, I wanted to talk with some residents of North Bay and try to get some videos. It wasn't long before someone who spotted me on the highway in Hager a few days prior agreed to speak on camera.
I ran into Jack, who said he saw me standing on the highway talking to some people there. How's it going, Jack?
Good.
Right on. You're from North Bay?
I moved here 5 months ago from Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you've been lived in both parts of Ontario.
Well, I lived in Sudbury for a month and moved here 5 months ago.
I've tried to talk to people around here, and it seems like they don't want to talk about the problems of the world and what's going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, most of the people are here are screwed. When it comes to voting and all that, I don't even do it.
So. Yeah, me neither. I've never voted in my life.
They can come after me for it. They can do whatever they want. I don't participate in it just because.
Do you think that voting really matters? Like, do you think when you cast a vote that it actually goes and gets counted, or do you think that they're put in place, like they're all picked and?
Yeah, no, it don't. To me, it means shit. To other people, it can mean the world.
Yeah.
Nothing changes anyway. The government doesn't change shit anyways.
They don't listen.
No, all it is a money grab, and it's a waste of time. It's a waste of everything.
Yeah, a lot of people actually say the same thing. They say that there needs to be changes and it's not working, and they're not happy with their government.
You can go write a fucking book to the government or see Harvard and do it to whatever. They'll go, okay, next.
Yeah.
They don't even take time to appreciate it or look at it or do anything.
They don't read the letters and emails from people, I guess.
I'm assuming not, because nothing's changed.
If you had a message for Stephen Harper, what would the message be to Stephen Harper, the Prime Minister of our country?
Huh?
What do you think you'd say to him?
Something that's not for film.
Oh yeah?
The government's so half-assed backwards. It's pathetic.
It was good to get out that day in North Bay and test the ankle and talk to some people and get some videos, but I knew that I had to rest for a little while in North Bay before I could progress any further, and I'd already been in North Bay for a few days, so I didn't want to walk too much on it. I wanted to save the energy and the pain essentially for the big walk ahead.
It's July 24th, still in North Bay, healing up, but the wound's healing up pretty good. I got a trailer, a bike trailer that I'm going to go look at tomorrow, but I've been just resting the infection and the sprained ankle that I have, and it's looking really a lot better today, for sure. I'll show you guys what it's looking like. But there it is. It's still a scrape. It still looks pretty bad, but it's smaller, way smaller than it was. It's healing up nice. The ankle's doing a lot better. Here's a comparison of my feet, if you can see it. it's still a little bit bigger, but the swelling is definitely down compared to what it used to be. So I should be able to walk out of here. I hit the highway again on Friday after everything's done here, and I got all the supplies I need. So I don't want to do the next stretch without a lot of supplies. I want to make sure that I'm ready for the next stretch and that I have everything I'm going to need, because it could be a good 6-7 days before I get down to Barrie.
The walk from North Bay to Barrie was around 279 kilometers, which was very long, and that was over double what I had already walked, so I knew that I had a rough road ahead of me, and I didn't really know anybody from North Bay until Barrie, essentially, so I was going to have a hard time keeping in touch with people and limited Wi-Fi access, and I wasn't sure what to expect because I hadn't really been in that area before. But I knew that when I got to the 400 and the 401 highways that I could get off my feet because they're restricted to walking on because of the high danger and the high risk right there. And I knew it would just be a matter of time before I was harassed by law enforcement or picked up or arrested for walking on the highway. So I didn't want to chance it or anything like that. So I knew that when I got to Barrie and to Toronto, I would be able to get off my feet for a prolonged period of time and continue walking again after I was in a safe area.
So it's July 25th. I'm still in North Bay, listening to David Gold, The Woods of Ypres. It's good music. Good friend of mine who passed away on the highway, and it's good to listen to his stuff. It gives me faith to move on and inspiration. But yeah, Chad just made another great meal, breakfast. Got some French toast here. Gonna be eating that before I go. Today's the day that I get my trailer. The money that was sent to me from donations just went through today, so I now have access to the money from PayPal, and I'm gonna be going to get a trailer, a bike trailer, so that I can carry around the supplies. I'm gonna need a couple tarps, a sleeping bag, and a couple other smaller items that I'm gonna need on the next long stretch. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, is getting around to get those supplies. And plan on leaving here tomorrow morning pretty early to hit the road again and head towards Barrie.
I was actually looking for a ride to try to pick up some supplies around town so that I wouldn't have to carry it all, so I could at least rest my ankle until I got the trailer, but I couldn't find a ride actually, so I instead spent the time off my feet resting and re-energizing for the journey that was ahead the next day.
So my wife went to the March of Freedom page to leave comments because people don't believe that she supports what I'm doing, and she really does. She's been behind me the whole way through all of this. We discussed it prior before I left and everything like that, but she went to comment on the March of Freedom page because there was people leaving comments. Some of them are definitely negative because they don't see what I'm doing, they don't see the purpose, they're attacking the messenger and paying no attention to the message, ad hominem attacks, which I was expecting, obviously.
I also used that time to send out more SOS messages, and one person actually posted an article, actually a letter that I wrote, letting them know that my Facebook account was taken down and letting them know about the March of Freedom and what I was doing. So it was really good that Popeye from federaljack.com came through and posted that letter for me, and I was very thankful for that. That actually helped spread the word a bit on another website, so I wasn't really relying on just Facebook. I was also noticing more anomalies on the computer that day.
Here's a picture of me that I posted on there, of me on the road, and there is some people leaving bad comments. There's a lot of them leaving good though, most of them are leaving good, but as you can see, there's people leaving comments here. But on my computer, you can see that Chad's comment isn't there, a couple comments aren't there, but you see Rick's comment saying nicely spoke Shannon, and there is no Shannon's comment. It's not showing up on my account, so there's a lot of things that are being blocked from my computer specifically that I'm not able to see that others are able to see on their computers, and this video is proof. So more proof of internet suppression. You can call it NSA, you can call it CSIS, CIA, whoever's trying to silence me and make it harder for me to do this journey. It's good to have other computers around so that you can compare the screenshots and see what's going on and see the differences. It's pretty amazing. So a friend of mine on Facebook, Aaron, actually just sent me an email saying that my profile was deleted and he wanted to take screenshots and sent me an email to take a look at it. He wasn't sure what happened. He thought I deleted my profile on purpose, but I'm gonna have to reply to him and tell him what happened and all that stuff. He sent me an email asking what happened, because all of a sudden it's just gone. This is a screenshot. And this is one where he did a search for my name. I've been totally wiped out off of Facebook. Doesn't come up with the page that I made or the personal account profile that I had that was taken down. So it seems like I'm just off the grid there. And he's telling me a step-by-step on what happened there. But yeah, here it is, as you've seen on Dean's computer when I went to his work. It says that it's no longer available because it's identified as abusive or marked as spam. Helping the world is now considered abusive. You hear that, people? Helping the world is now considered to be abusive. So, that's the reality of the world we're living in, folks. Right there. And this is a reality show, and I'm trying to show you how real it is.
I stayed in most of the day networking and sending out emails to try and set up some speaking arrangements in cities that I would be passing through along the way. While I was online, a friend of mine from North Bay, J-Rob, who was in the same band as Dean, got in touch with me to meet up and discuss some issues. Since it was the last night in North Bay, I knew it would be a great opportunity to get a good conversation on video, and just as with Dean, we had never really sat down to have an intellectual discussion before. He said he would stop by to pick me up, to help keep me off of my feet, and when he got there, he parked his car on the road at the foot of the driveway. While he was waiting for me, he said that an unmarked police vehicle pulled up to his car and asked him what he was doing. He said he was waiting for a friend, and they asked him who it was and wanted to see his ID. They were not in uniform, however they showed him their badges and drove off shortly before I came out to the car. After he told me about the experience, I wondered if it may have been CSIS agents monitoring my location, and we saw the vehicle again on our way to J-Rob's place.
Protesters are trying to rattle the cage around the Canadian Forces military base in North Bay. It's a staged yet realistic situation.
I think we got the job accomplished. We pushed enough buttons.
CFB North Bay personnel take exercises like this one seriously. It prepares them for all types of real-life potential threats.
It was because of reasons like this that I chose not to announce the March of Freedom before leaving, because I knew if they knew where I would be and what I was doing, they could easily find me and attempt to stop what I was doing. Sure, they could easily track me using my laptop or iPhone, but not announcing or promoting the march allowed a head start and some time to ensure that I was already gone and enough people knew about what I was doing. Due to the Facebook shutdown, I knew they were already onto me, and after J-Rob's experience with what seemed like undercover agents, it further confirmed my belief that I was indeed being watched.
All the little conspiracy theories that you hear about and you see on the movies, you know, like little pieces of them kind of
Start making sense and being true.
Yeah,
right?
It's like white noise.
Yeah.
And if you were to look at it at a graph, you see little spikes, and the spikes start coming up, and then the spikes form something that makes sense. It's like an ultimate crazy design. It's like everything you've ever been told is a lie, and then all the other crazy crap that you've been told that is crazy crap is the truth. And
you were told it's crazy crap because of a media, the news, or textbooks. You're taught that in school. There's ways that they make sure that you believe that that's bad. And that's why a conspiracy or a conspiracy theorist, everyone thinks it's such a bad thing. They're like, oh, that guy's a quack, he's a conspiracy theorist, conspiracy. As soon as you use that word, people are automatically like, oh, stay away, you know? But conspiracy, time and time again, have been proven to be true.
So how do they do it? What have they been doing, and why have they been doing it?
Governmental means. Govern means to control. Mental means your mind. So it's a way to control the mind of a group of people, a mass amount of people. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening throughout history. Is that you've got a ruling dictatorship essentially over a group of people, feeding them propaganda, making them think that they're living a free life and that they can be happy with what they're given, not what they could have. Essentially, food, water, shelter, electricity, those are the things we need to survive. And when they start saying, okay, you can't have that, from the time you're born, out of your mother's womb, you can't have what it takes to live on this earth unless you pay us money and work for us, and we'll give you healthcare. If you get hurt or sick, we'll give it to you only if you work.
Yeah.
Only if you make us money for very little money that you could barely pay
pay to survive, and the only money you make goes back to us every time. We tax you on your paycheck, but the money you work for still goes back to us. You pay your rent, you pay your bills for food, you pay your water bill, you pay your hydro bill, you pay your gas bill, you pay your car insurance payments, you pay this and that, you pay your credit card loans. All of that money goes back to the one source. Them. Who's them? The government. The reason why they say the word them is because they want you to say them and they, so that you don't say the word government or corporation or banksters.
And I know it's driving you nuts because it's like the whole, really? The government? But it's like, yeah, dude, it fucking is. Like, I'm straight up telling you, that's where that comes from. Ooh, the government, they put that shit into you so you can tell people, ooh, the government. Like, come on, man, take it for fucking what it is. Literally, you see it everywhere. It's almost like, are you fucking kidding me? You don't see it? Sorry.
You've been to Korea, right? So
Dude,
you've seen like the farming communities and other things probably, and even going out there, wherever you've traveled, you've seen how different it is.
I've seen a system that works differently. Like I've even seen a way of thinking that works differently. Imagine going to a place where nobody walks around on edge. No one is afraid of the next person coming up around the corner. Everyone is concerned about the next person around the corner's feelings. They're concerned about everyone else's well-being. And when everyone is concerned about everyone else's well-being, no one sits around and thinks only for themselves. And then you eliminate fear, and you eliminate uncertainty, and greed, and hate. Because that greed is the biggest thing. Greed is what, it's like, oh, I'm afraid. Oh, well, I'm afraid because I'm greedy. Oh, or am I greedy because I'm afraid? I don't have my money. I don't have my guns.
And that's what they want you to do. They want you to kill each other when things go bad, and they're going to orchestrate this bad stuff. Financial collapses, job losses, whatever you're going to go through is based from them and what they do. And so it's like, here you go, here's some problems, but we got the solution. Here's some problems, we got the solution. So you're chasing your tail around all the time. Yeah, but really, we got to work together. If everybody grew a garden in their backyard, we'd have so much food, we wouldn't know what to do with it. And that's what's starting to happen. People are starting to grow their own food. Money saved, everything. Like, we have the technology to do it, but the government doesn't want us to. They want us to keep working our jobs and buying bad foods that are going to get us sick, so we go to the hospital, and they're going to keep all the cures, and they're going to make us sick and profit off it. Why don't you tell your story even about how you've seen cannabis cure cancer?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who was terminal, and they had ovarian cancer, very severe case, and they were terminal, and they were told by their doctor that they were terminal, and then like they were like going on a crazy between me and them and you, they were going on a very, very crazy self-destruction mode. So that's kind of how I ran into them. Anyways, shot to the Rick Simpson story. They had enough money to go with it, and trust me, if you can afford chemo, you can afford Rick Simpson's oil. And he definitely, she or he or they definitely made a way of curing themselves almost within weeks. I mean, within weeks they were cured. We'll say there was a major decline of the growth of the tumors, and then after within a couple weeks, and then to say within a month they were cured. How could you not say that's a miracle? It's something, and it's firsthand to me. The things we create, debt, popularity, cool, loser, like those things, those are such defining words. Crushing, or like uplifting. Like, it's so empowering and depowering at the same time. Yeah. And those are completely created through consumerism, ways to control us.
Marketing, yeah.
It's disgusting, and that's exactly how it works. That's how they keep us at bay. Mm-hmm. And it sounds so stupid, but like everything from the cereal you buy to the deodorant you wear, to the way you style your hair, to the way you don't style your hair.
Good one.
Me and J-Rob talked intently for at least a couple of hours, and he said he wanted to meet up with a friend of his who was at the Old Wilders, a venue I had played a few times with bands I was in. He said he would buy me a drink there since I did not want to spend any money on alcohol, and after getting there, I discovered what his idea of having a drink meant in true celebrative fashion. After meeting up with Steve, we walked back to J-Rob's place, and on the way, I brought them to the Masonic Temple to show them the all-seeing eye, which I had told them about over drinks.
It was great to have some drinks with J-Rob and Steve on the night before I was leaving North Bay. After a few drinks there, we went back to J-Rob's, and it wasn't long before we got into a really heartfelt, in-depth discussion.
July 6th, that kind of really touched me, down at Willie's Big Cookout, and that's when I saw, this girl, she had cancer, and she was doing the barbecue, and it was not that she was pretending that everything was fine, but she, I guess that was the portion of raising awareness, and it kind of made me look at my life, and I was just like, I could see energy, like you were saying earlier, you can read energy, and it was one of those things that I looked at her and it was just I know she just kind of wishes that she had a full, head of hair or whatever. I just felt her pain in a way, and I was just like, man, something so easy for me to do, and she can't do it because she's got to go through chemo. And
you literally it was your first. Well, not to say your first, but I mean it was one of your major feelings of humility.
Yeah, really, it truly was.
That's awesome, man. It's a personal really story, brother, and that's awesome.
Started almost caring more, and but being
cool.
such a arsehole on a regular basis, didn't have that shell as much. I opened up a little bit more once I seen her, and she was just, doing her thing, and she loved life, as far as I knew, but it was just if shaving this off and making a wig for someone can make them that less, a little bit more happy, why not?
Yeah, you understood the importance of helping somebody when they're in need, and nobody else is going to help them.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly what it comes down to is
you are a good person.
You are, man. You are. And we all are, I think.
Well,
this is a Canadian cheers to the rest of the world to say we can heal each other. We just got to talk and be open and just.
We all have the same morals and the same aspirations. We're just so it's life, jobs and society really kind of they kind of throw these wedges that separate what we really want to do. And I mean, it's so unfair, and we know it's unfair. We really do know it's unfair.
There's the ability to cure them, but at the same time, we have to.
All it takes is education.
Exactly, man, and it's just
you gotta know.
It's the fat cats upstairs, but there's a lot of us that realize what's really going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard to rise up and fucking do your own cause. So, Mark, I want to give you a hefty cheers on that, buddy.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Hi. Do you have cancer? Do you want to be cured? Do you have money? Well, you can't be cured because cannabis is illegal. I want people to not die of cancer. What if you get cancer one day? What if your daughter gets cancer? What if your son gets cancer? What if your mom or dad gets cancer? What are you gonna do? Pay $30,000 for a 2-month supply of chemo and then chance die? I mean, for your children and your children's children and your own name and yourself as a person. You got 10 minutes on your deathbed and you're gonna say to yourself, yeah, I bought in. Or you're gonna say, no, I made a difference.
Indeed.
I felt as though I had truly connected with J-Rob and Steve, and it was great to hear some stories of human kindness. My time in North Bay was part of a learning and healing process, and this last night helped give me some confidence in what I was doing, which would help me on the road ahead. Before leaving J-Rob's, he gave me a couple of hooded sweaters to keep me warm since I was not able to fit a jacket or sweater in my backpack before leaving Sudbury. I was extremely grateful for the hospitality in North Bay, and after getting a few hours sleep, it was the beginning of a new day and a new chapter of the March of Freedom.
So yeah, today's the day that I'm leaving North Bay, and I wanted to say thanks to Kelsey here for letting me heal up my foot, and Chad as well. But yeah, it's been really cool. Thanks to the socks too, and all the help that you give me on the way. And I hope the world can see that there's good people out there that care about people and stuff. Liam's awesome too. He's an awesome kid, so I wish you best of luck in the future for everything, and thanks again for sure.
No problem, and you be careful.
I will.
All right,
I will be
take
careful.
Care. Go work out.
Indeed.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I was very thankful to have met Kelsey and Liam while I was in North Bay, and the day before leaving I spoke to a couple friends back home in Sudbury who said they were going to drive to North Bay to bring me some supplies to try to help me out for the long road that was ahead. I didn't know many people on the next stretch of the journey, so I was going to be on my own in the middle of nowhere.
Look who showed up here. Craig and Nina from Sudbury.
Hi.
Came to say hello, and
Craig Unaki.
they brought actually a couple things for me for the road. And they're going to give me a ride around town here in North Bay today so that I can pick up that bike trailer and a couple other supplies that I'm going to need for the road. Because it's a long haul coming up. So hi Mina, how's it going? Awesome. It's cool to see you guys out here. Thanks for coming out.
When I left on the March of Freedom, I didn't bring a sleeping bag, I didn't bring a jacket or a sweater, I didn't bring a flashlight. I had very minimal supplies, and some friends, after seeing my injuries and knowing what I was up against on the next part of the journey, were worried for my safety and well-being, so they wanted to bring me some supplies. So I was very thankful that Craig and Mina were able to drive from Sudbury to North Bay to bring me some stuff.
It's for self-defense against bears when you're trapped in the woods.
Yeah.
And you must spray it directly into their eyes.
Yeah, they made us sign a form for it. So,
they made us sign a form and give my driver's license because health cards are no good.
Alright.
Apparently.
And you brought that for me so that I could protect myself in the bush against bears when I'm going to be camping out this week.
A bear attacks deterrent. You never know what you're going to encounter out in these northern wilderness. Bears, rattlesnake, porcupine, Freemasons. You know, you got to be prepared for everything.
Yeah, you never know. Never know what you're gonna see out there.
Yeah.
Probably already encountered half of those.
You never know.
For sure.
I think you have like everything. Like I think you have like a tarp and like ropes and like pretty much.
We got a tarp. We got
some food, water.
Glenn contributed a tarp and a rope and a sleeping bag. And the
Thanks,
rest
Glenn.
is food.
Back home in Sudbury. Appreciate it, brother. Like I was saying, I can't carry all that stuff on my back, especially with more stuff now, more supplies. It's going to be impossible to walk on the side of the highway.
You have to figure it out.
Well,
that's why I get a bike, but
I need that trailer, I think, so that I can pull it.
We'll grab the trailer for you.
You're going to like drag a trailer around.
I'm going to drag a trailer across Canada. Yeah, I'm going to drag a bike trailer. That's the only thing I could think of. I looked around the yard here for supplies and there wasn't anything that I could really build that was usable, that would have lasted and actually been lighter, like lightweight.
Ouchies.
So yeah, this is the wound before I'm leaving North Bay. That's what it looks like.
Day 5.
Yeah, I've been here for a little while.
Yeah.
Is it?
So I gotta keep going though. So that's the stuff I gotta carry. Those 2 bags over there. That garbage bag which has a sleeping bag, tarp, rope in it from Glenn. And I got a huge backpack, the one that I carried here that I had. And then I got some food inside. So that's a lot of stuff to carry, and I'm not going to be able to carry that on my back to Barrie from North Bay. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that, so it's really important that I get this trailer today. That's top priority, is to get a trailer and figure out if it's going to work. I need to put the bag on it, make sure it's not going to bottom out and the weight doesn't take it out, because I don't want to buy something if it's just going to break down on me on the way. I have to make sure that it's durable and it's going to last a while and it's going to at least get me to where I'm going. Until the trailer, I'll see you next time.
One thing I was concerned about is whether or not the trailer would be durable enough to be able to carry all those supplies, because I already had a lot of supplies to begin with, and with Craig and Mina bringing me all the new stuff, I definitely needed that trailer, so everything was riding on the trailer alone.
We're at the place where I'm gonna take a look at that trailer to see if I can pull all the weight, make sure it's something that'll hold it and support the long walk ahead. So we're just scouting around right now for the area. Oh, there it is. I can see it.
Oh, you see it?
There it is.
Oh yeah, see, they did it weird.
I can see the bike. I can see the bike trailer right now. It's just sitting there in the corner of the house.
I bet you could pack pretty much everything in there though.
Yeah.
Still, that's still
Let's
pretty
see.
big size.
Well, it's time to find out if this bike cart is gonna work.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's not too bulky. Yeah, I guess it is a decent size. Well, there it is, in person. The bike cart. Time to see who's home and talk to Ted. After checking out the bike cart, I knew it would be perfect for what I needed it for. Ted was a really nice guy who agreed to be on camera to show me how it worked. So yeah, I'm here with Ted. I knocked on the door, he came out, and here's the cart. He said he had a canoe on it before, so it's probably pretty durable and it can take a lot of weight for sure. But yeah, he's gonna show how to fold it up and stuff like that. He's gonna give me a demonstration so I know how to do it, to fold her up.
It's pretty easy. All you gotta do is unscrew these things. Makes a little bit. I've had it for about 4 years, so I'm a little rusted.
Yeah.
Everything works good.
Yeah, like I definitely think that this would work if I pulled it and I hooked up rope.
It pulls nice and easy.
Yeah, it's light.
You can hook it right onto a backpack.
The tires just need air, right?
It's already like set up so you can hook it right to a backpack.
Yeah.
That'll just clip on.
Oh yeah, I see. Just like that.
It's also got a little thing you can clip and tie.
Huh. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
It's like a little hammock or...
And then that thing there can slide down, eh? Oh yeah, it folds down.
Yeah.
So that's the three system. Pull the top down, the wheels, and the handle.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I can even throw in a bike pump and some patches if you want, just in case you hit that hill or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It'll help
Cool.
on anything.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'm carrying about, I'm guessing 100 pounds or 80 pounds of stuff. So it's pretty heavy, so I think that this thing would actually hold off. So yeah, sold. Definitely gonna pick this up.
Awesome.
Thanks for helping me with this. It's gonna be this is a monumental point in the journey. Monumental achievement, just this bike trailer. It's gonna help out so much. Bike trailer obtained.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like I'm just going across. I've been talking to a lot of people about issues, you know what I mean? Just about what they think that's wrong with the world, how it could be run better, if they had any ideas, any questions for Mr. Harper, because I'm going to Ottawa to try to talk to him and address him of all of the concerns I've heard from across Canada, you know? So there's a lot,
I can
yeah.
sit here and talk to you guys for 4 days.
That's good. That's good, brother, because honestly, a lot of people they don't care, and they get abused and torn up by the system, and they don't care, they never question nothing, and it's cool, you could,
A lot of times I think it's not about caring, I think it's about not knowing what to do about it, you know?
Yeah, I'm learning that, yeah. That's a common thing that I've heard.
Yeah.
People don't know what to do. Knowing is half the battle, and the other half is what do you do with that knowledge and wisdom, right? So yeah. But yeah, it's cool to meet you, man. Like, definitely, man. Cool to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, this is gonna help out on the journey, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I'll go grab that bike pump for you.
Thanks. Well, there we go. And even since the tires go on so easy, I might even be able to, if I do need them, get other tires, bigger tires, taller ones that would lift it up off the ground and give more clearance on pulling. So, mission accomplished. They even have painted on the cars. CIBC, Run for the Cure. Canadian Breast Cancer Association. Promoting fundraisers to make the cancer industry billions of dollars while they withhold the cures that they know of. It's everywhere you go. It's pretty hard to find truth in a world of lies. After getting some well-needed supplies to weatherproof the tent and stopping for a bite to eat, Craig said he would give me a lift to the outskirts of town, to Highway 11 South, which would bring me to Barrie and the GTA. On our way, we passed through Callander, the town that was hit by the tornado while I was in Sturgeon Falls. It was a bit of a detour, but Craig said he would get me back onto the highway to find a camping spot for the night. So we're now driving through Callander, which was hit by a storm. A tornado went through here the night that I was in Sturgeon Falls, actually, and I saw that storm. Well, that was the outside of it. But the storm passed through this little town, which is part of North Bay. It's like just on the edge of North Bay. So we came to Callander, which is where I'm going to start the journey.
and check out the damages from the windstorm. I already seen a bunch of trees that are bent over and snapped. A lot of house damage. There's some more damage there. You can see trees ripped down.
Oh my god, look at that one. It's like
Huge tree just ripped right out of the ground there. Basketball net's torn down. I've seen some siding on the houses up over there that are all torn up. But this is some damage here for sure. This tree got rooted. De-rooted.
That guy's pretty lucky he didn't hit his house.
that guy's pretty lucky.
The whole root system, yeah. And you can see the concrete here. Man versus nature. Nature always prevails, right? If I would have stayed outside in Hager, I would have been hit by the edge of the storm. That's one thing I got to look for on this journey is weather. I always got to look up to the sky and make sure that I know what I'm getting into and I know what's ahead for the weather because I don't have access to the weather channels when I'm walking. So that's another thing I definitely got to look out for sure. I want to make sure that where I do camp out, I have access to the highway to get right back on it, so I don't have to walk really far to get back onto the highway to gain some kilometers. At the beach, this is where we're going to test out the trailer, make sure it all works. But I love Northern Ontario. It's a beautiful area. Definitely beautiful. Might be a time capsule under there. Another thing that was likely built by the Masons in this town. There's got to be a lodge in Callander. I just haven't found it yet. But maybe I'll look for it. Oh, there's something you don't see all the time right on the beach. Nobody's swimming. Nobody's in the water. Nobody's in this beautiful lake. And this could be why. Notice. This water may contain high levels of bacteria for up to 48 hours following heavy rainfall, and that's from the Medical Officer of Health, North Bay Paysan District Health Unit. So, there's something in the rain. Pollution, bacteria, they say, that's getting in the water, and I guarantee you nature didn't make that bacteria. Nature didn't cause that to happen. It was definitely something that was man-made. That's what another thing that I'm doing this for is to spread awareness about the earth, and now it's our most important thing, and we all depend on it, everybody in this entire planet. When people are abusing it by privatizing resources and just mass producing stuff and polluting, it doesn't do anybody any good, especially when there's cars pumping out gas every day when we could be living off free energy. So definitely a lot of problems that I'm trying to tackle in this journey.
When I was a kid, this place used to be fucking filled with people. Lots of little kids, a whole bunch of families all over the place.
Swimming, yeah.
Or even if they're not swimming, they'd be blankets and towels everywhere. Some of them are great. I guess everywhere's like that now. People are afraid to go outside and they give them a reason to be.
Yeah, it appears so.
Maybe it's a spy.
Turkey vulture, what the hell?
Maybe that's a camera on its back. It's a spy fly. Look, is that even real? Is it a robot? We're on to you.
It was great to be with friends, and it allowed for some time to let them know why I left home and explain the reasons I chose to do the March of Freedom.
I'm doing this journey because it has to be done. It's something that just told me to go. You gotta go and you gotta talk to people. That's what I was told by something. It was inside of me. It was me that was telling me it, but it was something else, like something higher. So far, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm meeting people that are nice, that care about each other, that give a crap about what's going on, and they actually would help you in a bad situation, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there that think that the world's cruel and nobody's there, nobody cares, but it's the opposite, really. People do care, and we've been all brought up in a world where we're supposed to climb up each other's backs to make money and not care about the other person. People walk by homeless people on the streets, they don't even say a word, they don't care that they're there and they're in a bad situation in life and stuff. So it's been really interesting talking with people about this kind of thing all over the place, all across Eastern Canada. That's the goal, right? Make it to the Atlantic Ocean and then we'll be good. I can successfully say that I've talked to people from Ontario all the way to the Atlantic Ocean personally. Angry people, people that hate what I'm saying and hate what I'm doing, I've met them too.
people that want nothing but to see me fail. They're just negative people. They're brought up by, they're a victim of the system. That's the term I'm using, victim of the system. Because they were raised to be that way, and they're angry at the world because of how they were treated by divisions and things being kept from them, money, poverty. Maybe somebody was cruel, stole something from them, or beat them up for money, or beat them up for whatever reasons. That's a product of the world. It's a product of society. They're victims of the system, and that's what I'm seeing everywhere. People are victims, but they still know within themselves, deep down, what's good and what's wrong, and that's the most important thing.
They have to walk on other people who are down in order to keep themselves up and themselves getting down, and they forget about the bigger picture of the world and
what's
really
most important.
It, and they get hateful towards people that they don't need to hate, and they don't care about it, because when they start to care, they start to feel like they're losing, and they're losing everything that they want, and everything that the system keeps them in a state of unconsciousness and a cycle and a circle of just work and striving for themselves and barely scraping by.
A new world without a new world order. That's what we're
fighting for.
We're needing, right?
Striving for. No more fight.
Yeah.
Get rid of the word fight. That's what we're striving for.
And get rid of wars too.
Wars.
Yeah, no more wars. Wars are useless.
Steal everybody's money to kill more people.
Taxes, public money.
Send more people there to die.
The Iraq war tax in the
seriously.
States apparently takes thousands of dollars from every family a year. It's the new Iraq war tax.
Wow.
And you do not have a choice. If you do not pay it, you get charged with tax fraud.
Most of us probably don't even support wars. Deep down for the actual reason that they're happening.
Well, I'll tell you, the things are gonna change. I know that for a fact, and I can feel it with people here that I'm with. We've changed. We see it. So once we're just waiting for that thing to hold on to that everybody's doing, that's gonna really cause a momentum, a cusp. It needs a pinnacle.
It's not the people that you're against, it's the system that is putting you in this state where you can't afford to help other people, you can't afford to help yourself. And people just get hateful, and or they just get to a point where they feel so hopeless and helpless that they don't even want to care. When you approach them and you give them a reason to care, and you show them that there are things you can do, they will very quickly care, because people are good.
Yeah.
People know what's right and what's wrong. You just have to show them sometimes.
He's absolutely right. That's what it's gonna take, right and wrong. We gotta put our priorities straight.
That's right.
What's that?
She said
You have to encourage each other to help one another.
If you don't encourage people, then they don't feel, they forget. They
You're
forget
right.
to feel.
Yes. They forget to
You
feel.
need to encourage them to remember to feel.
Yeah.
And what feeling's all about and what love's all about.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!